99 bottles, yeah, we've got 'em all. Line 'em all up and we'll drink till we fall. 'Cause Arthur Cantina's the best liquor store. Arthur Cantina, you'll never need more.
Welcome to another brand new episode on a brand new day of the Arthur Cantina Podcast. I'm your wonderful host, JP, with your other wonderful host, Anthony.
That's me.
And today, we're going to be drinking some bourbons. Or, I guess this is this sSourMash is not a bourbon, it's a whiskey?
So sSourMash is a whiskey, not a bourbon.
So, we're drinking whiskeys.
But technically, okay, well, that's actually a good point you bring up. Technically, there are sSourMashes that are bourbons.
Okay, well, this one's a whiskey, small batch.
Actually, no, I take that back. Actually, I have no fucking idea.
Well, you look like a goofball.
So sSourMash means you use some of the cook from the one before. You rolled it into the next one, much how they make sourdough. It's pH balanced. So they're messing around with the acidity. They're trying to get that flavor profile smooth and taking a little bit of flavor from the previous one and rolling it over into the next one.
Now, on this label here, it says Michters pre-Revolutionary War quality standards dating back to 1753.
All right. So what makes Michters different?
Distilled in small batch, according to their pre-Revolutionary.
Yeah, small batch could be anything. Small batch could be 500 gallons. Small batch could be 50,000 gallons. There's no definition of small batch. However, I guess they like to put small batch on the labels. You know, I'm not a whiskey company, so they probably know better than me. Yeah, it's a perfect thumbnail.
Right?
So what makes Michters different from other companies, when you crack open that new barrel, well, I should say new barrel, I should say barrel you've aged for 4 years, but brand new barrel whiskey, bourbon that's ready to go. When it gets dumped out, it gets poured into this big trough. And from there, it goes into like the bottling plant where they're going to fill up all the bottles. Prior to doing that, though, you're going to cut that whiskey. Because when it's coming out that barrel, it's going to be foolproof, really high octane. You're going to cut it down with some water and get it to where you want it to be. That's why you see 40%, 45% proof, these standard numbers. It doesn't come out like that. They have to cut it with water to get it to that proof. So that's how you get a uniform product across everywhere. What makes Michters different is they age their whiskey already cut with water in the barrel. So when it comes out the barrel, it comes out at a wacky number because they're not cutting it with anything. So they're aging their water alongside their whiskey. That's what makes them different.
Mm.
You're going to yield less. You're going to probably put in more water content into that whiskey when you're aging it. However, I think it makes for a superior product. And that's what they talk about pre-Revolutionary War standards. They weren't cutting things back then because the water was getting purified when they were making the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to cut it with unpurified water later and get everyone sick.
Damn, I didn't think you know the answer to that.
There you go. It's a wealth of knowledge.
Sometimes.
No practice, no preparation.
Really, I mean.
Off the cuff.
I wouldn't believe that if I wasn't here. People, you don't understand how we do these things. We go, what are we going to drink? Just grab these.
Also, what makes Michters different? They use a different kind of wood. Could be quoting this wrong. Chicopee something.
Chicopee?
I think it's Chicopee. Chicopee wood.
Giuseppe? sSourMash? This is the sSourMash one we're drinking first.
It was originally a defunct whiskey company. They were gone. They were out of business. A person by the name of Joe or John Magliocco revived this brand from New York. Good throw. They didn't exist. They were already out of business. And I think it's really nice that instead of just building something brand new with today's ideas of what whiskey should be, it's really nice that they revived this company and brought them to Kentucky and started making nice whiskey out of Kentucky.
Now, the name Michters is from the sons, right? Some weird Michael and Peter or something like that, and that's how they combined the names. They got Michters. I think that's what's his name? Javi told us something like that.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Gotta check it out. We can get Javi on the podcast too.
We definitely could get Javi on the podcast.
He's a wealth of knowledge.
It's what, Baum's Burgers and
Shanks. Bomb Burgers, all I believe are made of Fort Nelson. Now the juice in the 20-year-old and 25-year-old is sourced.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't around that long ago, but they are making their own whiskey. They're going to start aging to get to that level, 2025. I'm sure they're going to have some crazy stuff like preparing for the future. A 50-year-old barrel. It's going to be in the works.
So sSourMash is a lot of caramel in those.
Dude, I get a boatload of pineapple. Like at the beginning of the nose.
I get that. Like pineapple or like that nail polish alcohol-y type.
With acetone?
Yeah.
We gotta get better at chemical names too.
Yeah, but most people, normal people don't know chemical names either.
You should though. Like I get a smell sometimes in wines that reminds me of chloroform that I used to smell at laundromats.
Chloroform?
Yeah.
You smell it? Don't you get knocked
pick up
out?
that-
Don't you get like knocked out?
Well, I guess too much of it. I pick up that smell. It's kind of almost like it's like a plasticish, like kind of smell, like a fresh plastic smell. That make any fucking sense?
It's like sweet.
Not sweet. Doesn't smell sweet. Like radiator liquid smells sweet.
I don't know. I think I know. Like if you go to the dry cleaner type. See, but that, again, that's why
I get that smell a lot, and I'm like, what the hell is it?
Dry cleaners, my old, my old business of environment, we do a lot of cleanups and dry cleaners, and the PCBs, the chemicals they would use in dry cleaning, a sweet smell, and they, unlike gasoline, it wouldn't float; it would sink. It's heavier than water, so it'd be deep in the groundwater, and in the soil, you could see it's like a sweet, like almost like amaretto type smell to it.
Is that why they're so dangerous? Because they just sit at the bottom of the ocean, breaking down little by little?
I guess. I mean,
emitting stuff over time?
I mean, yeah, it's no good to... RFK, baby. Let me actually drink it.
There's a little bit of that smell there, too. You take a really hard whiff, you get kind of a chemically plastic smell.
Very smooth, the sSourMash. I thought... Smooth and sweet.
I could be wrong here too. If I remember, sSourMash usually is 3 parts, 30%, 30%, whatever, 40%, 33% each. So you get a little bit of that spice at the finish, right in the front of the tongue. A little bit of heat. I don't want to say I'm tasting the wheat or the malt, in the middle of my tongue. I kind of do.
The wheat,
a little crackerish. A lot of flavors to this.
And their sSourMash is supposed to be like Jack Daniels, right? Is that what you always like to say that, compare them?
Because Jack Daniels, their claim to fame is charcoal filtering. So once you're done making the whiskey, before you put it in bottle, I'm assuming they cut it before, but they might cut it afterwards. Anyway, whiskey's going to get dripped onto a barrel-ish kind of device full of charcoal. So whiskey's going to go in there, enter through the top of this charcoal, and just drip all the way down, along the way getting all the impurities and harshness taken out of it, and you get left with a more clarified, smoother, elegant whiskey. That's a claim to fame for Jack Daniels. They are technically a bourbon. They're made in Tennessee. For whatever reason, they don't call themselves bourbon. I think to them, they want to distinguish a sSourMash more significance and makes them stand out from everyone else.
Yeah. Jack Daniels, I always feel, because Jack Daniels, I always end up, I mean, again, a younger man's drink. I would always drink Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
But especially with like Coke, I always get like a very woody flavor out of Jack Daniels.
I haven't had Jack Daniels in a long time.
I know I haven't had Jack like straight up in a very long time.
Wow.
Last time I had Jack Daniels was the delicious Jack and Coke cans that we have here at Arthur Cantina.
Yeah, I actually like those a lot. And whenever I have to go to a family event or a gathering, that's a great thing to bring.
And I have a lot of people that come into the store and get that. A lot of from like different walks of life. Men, women, all different colors. They all like it. And then they go, I don't want the Coke Zeros. I'm like, Coke Zeros ain't that bad either.
No, really not.
I think it just has that. All right, I'm ahead of you now because now I'm going to pour myself some of the bourbon.
Going back to a little bit, the wood and the caramel are starting to come out at the very end of the sSourMash.
Okay, I mean, they're both similar colors, right? The bourbon and the sSourMash.
I want to say sSourMash a little bit lighter. The bourbon looks a little bit more of a golden color.
Much more vanilla on the nose on this one. Way sweeter. And the sSourMash was sweet to begin with. Giuseppe? Pino. Stop calling him Pino. Shout out Pino. He came in last Sunday. Give it a whiff. Tell me. Oh, no, wait. This is a sSourMash. You've had this one. Sour.
Oh.
Yeah, pour him.
This guy's trying to give you the old hustle. Okay, new chairs. I go on hiatus because I had a son, so I'm off of the store, and I get the news that they broke my chair. A guy who's twice the size of anyone in here, both physically and in many other ways.
Physically and mentally?
I get the news that these guys broke my chair. These guys broke my chair. I can't.
And he blames us. He blames.
Yeah, it was totally fine when I was here.
It broke, and then we left it. Me and Noah left it. I just left it hanging on, and then Damien came in all day. Like, me and Noah didn't sit. We didn't say anything. Finally, Damien said, "I'm gonna go get lunch." And me and Noah like, and then he sits on it, and it doesn't break. And then he sits on it, and then it just falls. He doesn't fall. It's just very anticlimactic. And we're like, "What'd you do?" Anthony doesn't break it, but you did. The littlest guy here.
What did you do?
Anyway.
Why'd you do that?
So much more
Yeah, we're gonna get in the chair.
caramel and sweetness on this one.
It's got the darker color. Doesn't deliver on heavier flavor though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not heavy on the flavor. It's lighter, if anything, on the flavor.
Maybe that's why they gotta. Maybe their focus is on the bourbon. They gotta push the sSourMash.
I like the nose on the bourbon better, but I feel like I like the taste on the sSourMash better.
I'm with you on that. This is a bit more aggressive. What's the alcohol on the sSourMash?
I think it was 43. Yeah, 43%. And
This
that's
one's
80.
45.7.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not much more.
Whew, got a lot of heat. Holy
You don't like it? You like the sSourMash better. Joey whispered.
You gotta bleep out that
likes
S word. S word.
I love when we tell Jody to bleep out curses, and he'll just get the first 3, and then the rest is F this, S, F.
There's sometimes where he misses one in the beginning, and then the next 3 or 4 are all bleeped out. Oh my god, that's funny.
That's funny. I don't blame him. I don't know how he does it. Quite honestly, I'd be like,
well, because sometimes they're not very definitive. They're almost snuck in there.
I know.
Blend into another word.
That's how we roll. But God bless the kid. The man, he's not a kid, but he sits there listening to us talk, oh, this tastes good. For hours trying to bleep out all the curses.
I'm getting chloroform in here too.
Chloroform. I think something's wrong with you, bud.
Man.
I think something's wrong with you.
Telling you.
Chloroform. Holy, more like chloroform.
It's more prominent in this one. That'd be great to get Adam Sandler here. That'd be awesome. We're not Joe Rogan yet.
Not yet. Get Joe Rogan on the podcast. I'm sure he would love it. It's whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy.
You'd have to fight him though, 2 8-men.
I'd fuck him up.
I don't think so.
You would have to fight him.
Well, I'm twice his size.
Yeah, but he's like a little chimpanzee muscle, and you're like the silverback, the bigger guy.
That's gonna be like my son, clamping onto my forearm. Just throw Joe Rogan. Out of the store.
Would fuck you up, dude. He would get you in a fucking some sort of chokehold.
I'd do like a praying mantis. I'd be like, I go in there. No,
Joe Rogan is
grab him by his little head.
Joe Rogan looks like one of those little. I don't remember. There was these old WWE wrestling figures.
The big heads, big chest with little legs.
Yes, and you'd squeeze them down. That was Joe Rogan. He would fucking fling it. He would get you one of those little chokeholds.
That'd be a great idea if we remade those WWF action figures, but our likeness.
They do that.
I know they do. That's what I saw it rebuilt, but in our likeness.
No, I think you could get them in
you get one Fez. It'd be great.
This is another one.
Make Fez mankind. That'd be hilarious.
It'd be funny to no one but us. Oh well. People would be like, I found this podcast. They talk about Michters, and now they're talking about some guy named Fez.
I bought a $1,000 bottle of scotch, and there's a toy in there. Why did they put this toy in here?
We should start doing it.
Buy a $1,000 bottle, you get a free Fez action figure. Limited Christmas item only. We could become like the next Hess. Like every year you come out in edition. The first will be the Fez.
Like, a little elf hat on. They got like a little like scarf on. That'd be funny. That would be hysterical.
Edition 1, Fez Mankind, like 10 of 10, right? Only 10 get made. They end up being worth like thousands of dollars.
If you order,
Fez has no teeth. He can't take the bus. And his action figures are selling $1,000 on eBay, like fucking Facebook.
So it's my likeness. You gotta give me something.
He's on Instagram scrolling, the ad shows up.
Steve the Cos is just fucking printing them out for us. That'd be great. That's not a bad idea. Don't even tell anyone. If you order a bottle over $1,000, it ships. It's just like a little toy in it. Nothing. It just says like Merry Christmas. It's just like a little action figure.
You give Fez like you do like a in-person signing at McDonald's. You just sit there and sign your limited edition.
Someone buys a singleton for $40,000, and we just ship it. And then there's just like a little action figure. I'm like, what the? The oil chic king that buys that bottle is gonna be like, who is this?
With bacon, egg, and cheeseburger attachment. Take his hand out, like plug in the head with the bacon, egg, and cheese.
And the other one's just holding this, like, comes with 5 stints.
That's a good idea. We're going to execute that idea.
So which one do you like better?
The bourbon's growing on me now.
I'm going to have to take a little bit more. Let's see. sSourMash.
Yeah, the bourbon's growing on me.
Damn, this is like more woody on the nose. I like the sSourMash, actually. Let me,
I feel like it's almost got like a malty taste in the middle of it. Definitely maple syrup. Definitely like forest. Forest?
Yeah, it's like a very...
I always pull up herbs when I crack open my mouth.
For the bourbon, I was about to say very herby, spicy at the end. I don't know. They're both very good.
It's growing on me. I think the initial shock of heat threw me off.
And like you said, it's crazy because the Michters, is that the last episode? I think it was the last episode you were talking about it. The Michters being, the big ones sell, they have that clientele for the expensive Michters.
Capture the upper echelon tier of the customer.
Nobody wants these mid ones.
I think they just...
But they're not bad. They're very good.
They have a hard time marketing themselves to the right clientele.
Doesn't make sense. What do we have it at? Almost nothing.
$40.
A $40 bottle is fantastic.
Yeah. And something that's distilled by them. They're not sourcing juice.
Which
they're not
everybody is doing.
Right. They own the whole operation. They have the master distiller. They got the aging, the bottling. They do it all. They control everything.
Shoot, I'm gonna have to.
The only thing they might not control is the corn. They're not farmers, but I'm sure they probably have some plant, some little farm somewhere in the works.
You know, $40 for a house type of bourbon is fantastic.
Just gotta get out there more.
This and like,
I think it is fantastic. You're right.
We have Buffalo Trace at a crazy price again, which is like a crazy low price now, $35. But like, I would compare it to that, that's what I used to love Buffalo Trace as. Just like, hey, want to hang out, drink some whiskey, nothing crazy, nothing. This is perfect.
I'm actually a crazy question. Is that Michters on the shelf behind us? No, it's only over here.
It's over there.
That might be a problem too.
Well, we moved it. We had it there forever, and
I think we
nobody did nothing with it.
We're gonna get rid of a few more brands. I think we have plenty of space to put the bourbon and sSourMash.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to get rid of myself.
Yeah, so maybe it needs better placement.
Well, it's kind of annoying part, but also a fun part of the job is like reorganizing. As long as you have to, I hate moving the shelves, but like, oh, let's try this here. Let's see how this, sometimes you got to put it like right in the eye of the customer. And we've had this in the eye of the customer and they would still be like.
You know what's funny? I like that, what you just said too, about kind of a fun part of the job is reorganizing, putting bottles in place. I think because you get an immediate satisfaction of improving something.
Of course. It's like anything.
Yeah. The more you look at it, the more you figure out where things would look better to the eye and
like
more organized.
The other day when we did the Whistle Pigs and we moved all the Pappies and the antique collection together, oh, wow, this looks...
Yeah. It's funny what you end up enjoying about the job, because I think you get to see also customers' reaction when they come in. They're always looking and go, oh, the eyebrows raised. And, oh, I didn't see that before. Where'd you have that?
My favorite is try see like the whiskeys. If you really want to see the really hard to get locations, I want to suggest to look over here. And then they're like, oh, wow, Pappies. Wow.
First watching some card salesman videos. All right, I think we should wrap up.
So, before we wrap up, you like the bourbon or the sSourMash?
I'm going to retaste the sSourMash.
They're both very good, but I think the more I drink, the more I'm like, this one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. I got a nice woody spice out of that. Start off with the sSourMash. This is what I would do. I would buy both bottles. Come into Arthur Cantina, buy both bottles. Drink a glass of the sSourMash, and then drink a glass of the bourbon. And then I think they'll complement each other fine in that way. And then you have a third glass. You don't want to have four. You don't want to get too crazy, but you have a little bit.
I'd even prefer it if you bought a sSourMash and a rye, because their rye is great. I love their rye. I like most ryes, but I really like their rye.
Ryes are like so weird to me. Sometimes they're like out of this world, and sometimes they're absolute dog shit.
Well, that's how
not Michters. I'm just saying ryes in general.
That's how I feel about malted whiskey. American whiskey, that category, I feel like it's been like maybe 2 or 3 that impressed me that I liked. I'm the opposite for rye. I love 7 out of 10 ryes.
Yeah, you're a rye guy. Dry guy, rye guy.
Even wheat, I have a hard time liking.
I like the wheated stuff.
When done right. It's not done right, it's not balanced.
Well, if anything, everything's got to be done right.
Yeah, I feel you get away more with rye. Even though it's a harder whiskey to make, I feel like there's a lot of ryes. There's a lot more ryes that are better than worse. But anyway, we got to wrap this stuff up. We got no more time.
All right. Thanks for tuning in yet again. To our devoted fans, our hopefully soon-to-be customers.
Thanks for tuning in. A deep thank you to everyone that likes us and promotes us. And when I see them in person, they bring it up and they go, hey, your podcast, man, I really like you. You know, you say some crazy stuff. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for giving us a shot. And you got anything we could do better? You know,
yeah, let us know. Comment, subscribe, all that.
I always
feel
I got thick skin. I can take it.
I always feel terrible when someone's like, "Oh, I love listening to Bike." I'm like, "You listen to us? You listen to me? I'm cursing and ranting all day."
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you, though. If you
funny.
like it, whatever. You're just the type of crazy I like.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And see you later. Take care.
Arthur Cantina, we're really glad you came. We won't forget your face next time, but might forget your name.